Welcome to Coins, the place where every small penny tells a story bigger than its size. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and surprising pieces of American coinage, the rare 1986 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it may look like any other small brown coin resting at the bottom of your drawer, but behind that humble copper shine lies a world of history, mystery, and value that could make your next pocket find worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The 1986 Lincoln penny carries the proud face of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that has become an icon in American history since it first appeared in 1909. By 1986, this design had already been in circulation for more than 7 decades, but the story of this particular year's coin is not as simple as it seems. In 1982, the U.S. Mint made a major change, switching from nearly pure copper coins to pennies made primarily of zinc with a thin copper coating. The 1986 penny belongs to that newer zinc era, which makes it lighter in weight and different in sound when dropped. But what makes the 1986 penny so rare and valuable in certain cases are the specific mint errors, mint marks, and unique striking conditions that occurred during its production. The majority of 1986 pennies were minted at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, bearing either no mint mark or the letter D below the date. The San Francisco Mint also produced a smaller number of proof coins for collectors, marked with an S. Most of these coins are still worth just 1 cent. But here's where the story takes a turn. Some of the 1986 Lincoln pennies show rare minting mistakes, double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and copper planchet errors, and these rare mistakes can multiply the value of the coin astronomically. Imagine holding a coin that looks ordinary but has a small doubling in the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty." That subtle doubling can make it worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its clarity and preservation. A few lucky collectors have discovered coins with such clear and dramatic doubling that experts estimate their value to be between $5,000 and $10,000. But that's just the beginning. The real legends of the 1986 Lincoln penny world are those rare examples mistakenly struck on solid copper planchets left over from earlier years before 1982. These are known as transitional errors, coins that shouldn't exist but somehow slipped through the Mint's strict production system. If you ever come across a 1986 penny that feels slightly heavier, weighing about 3.11 grams instead of 2.5 grams, don't ignore it. That tiny weight difference could mean you're holding one of these copper transitional errors. Such coins have been verified and authenticated by grading services like PCGS and NGC, and their auction prices have gone sky high, in some cases reported at over $787,976.90 for pristine, unique examples with strong documentation and proof of authenticity. Collectors around the world are now hunting for 1986 pennies, checking every old coin jar, every cash register, and every inherited coin box in search of that hidden treasure. The combination of history, mystery, and chance makes the 1986 penny one of the most talked about coins in the modern numismatic community. Many viewers and collectors often ask how to identify a valuable one. The first step is to look closely at the details, check the mint mark, inspect the lettering, and feel the weight. If the coin has sharp features, no major scratches, and shows luster like it was just minted yesterday, you might already have something special. For those rare varieties, the condition of the coin plays a massive role in determining its value. Coins graded as mint state or proof by professional graders often bring record-breaking prices. For instance, a 1986 D penny in flawless MS68 condition once sold for over $7,000, while error types and experimental planchets can go far beyond 6 figures. The higher the grade, the more dramatic the doubling, the more complete the strike, the higher the market value. Now let's talk about the history that gives this coin its emotional value. The 1986 Lincoln penny was minted during a time of economic change in America. It marked the era of technological transitions inside the U.S. Mint itself, a period when production was shifting towards modern processes, while still using the traditional design of Lincoln that connects the nation to its roots. That combination of old and new, tradition and progress, makes this coin symbolic beyond its material worth. Each 1986 penny carries not only metal but also the story of a country that honors its past while embracing innovation. many collectors believe coins like these carry energy, the feeling of a particular year in history. In 1986, the world saw remarkable events: new technology, global shifts, and cultural milestones. Owning a penny from that year feels like holding a time capsule, and if it happens to be one of the rare copper transitional or error-struck pieces, it's like holding a piece of history worth a small fortune. Experts always recommend storing and protecting coins properly, especially older or potentially rare ones. Use coin flips, holders, or albums that prevent scratches and oxidation. Never clean your coin with chemicals or polish, this can destroy its numismatic value. Original patina and toning, even if slightly darkened, are signs of authenticity and age that collectors love. The 1986 Lincoln penny reminds us that value isn't always visible at first glance. Something that looks ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary with a closer look. That's what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding hobby. It turns every handful of change into a treasure hunt. Maybe the next 1986 penny you find is one of those few that escaped the mint's attention, carrying a minting mystery and a hidden value that could change your life forever. So next time you come across a penny, don't just toss it aside. Look closely. Feel the weight. Check the mint mark. You never know, that tiny 1-cent coin could be your ticket to a rare discovery worth thousands or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Coins are history, art, and mystery all in one, and here on Coins, we bring that magic to light. Keep watching, keep collecting, and keep exploring the world hidden inside your change. Because every penny has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. Thank you for watching Coins, where small treasures reveal the biggest surprises. Today we are going deep into the fascinating world of the 1989 Lincoln penny, one of the most talked about modern coins, a small copper piece that has captured the attention of collectors across the world. Don't underestimate this 1-cent coin. Behind its simple design lies a story of minting history, collector passion, and some shocking market values that have left even experts surprised. So sit back, relax, and listen carefully, because your everyday penny might just be worth hundreds, thousands, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Lincoln penny has been a symbol of American pride for over a century. Introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, it became the first U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of symbolic imagery. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent replaced the Indian head penny and quickly became one of the most produced coins in U.S. history. But as the years went by, small changes in mint marks, metal composition, and errors turned certain pennies into legendary finds. Now, let's talk about the year 1989, a year that might seem ordinary, but for coin collectors, it holds special significance. The 1989 D penny was struck at the Denver Mint, marked by a tiny D below the date on the coin's front side, right under Lincoln's portrait. Over 5.3 billion of these pennies were minted, so at first glance, you might think they are common. But here's the twist: not all 1989 D pennies are equal. Some rare errors, minting flaws, and unique die varieties have made a few of them worth astonishing amounts. One of the most valuable 1989 D Lincoln pennies ever discovered showed an unusual mint error. It was struck on a planchet meant for another coin denomination. Imagine that, a 1-cent coin made using the wrong metal blank. These mint errors happen rarely and can multiply the value of the coin beyond imagination. Collectors love them because they show a glimpse into the mysterious side of the minting process. Some examples have sold for over $7,000 to $15,000 at major auctions, and a few high-grade versions have even been listed online for prices close to $78,796 or more. Yes, that's right, a single penny worth more than a luxury car. The material of the 1989 D penny also plays a role in its value. By that time, the U.S. Mint had already switched from nearly pure copper coins to copper-plated zinc. This change began in 1982 to cut costs, but it also meant that any leftover copper planchets mistakenly used after 1982 would create instant collector gold. So if you ever find a 1989 D penny that seems slightly heavier, has a richer copper tone, or doesn't react to magnets in the usual way, get it tested. It might have been struck on an older copper planchet and could be worth thousands. Now, what about condition in the world of coins? Condition is king. A regular 1989 D penny in circulated condition might only fetch a few cents. But if you find one in mint state, meaning it looks fresh, shiny, and has no scratches, you could be holding a small fortune. Coins graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, the top grading companies, have fetched prices between $1,000 and $6,000. The finest known examples in perfect mint state have been auctioned for tens of thousands of dollars. That's why collectors always say, never underestimate the power of preservation. Let's not forget about double dies, die cracks, and off-center strikes, all fascinating minting errors that make coins unique. A double die error happens when the coin's design is accidentally struck twice, creating a shadow or doubling effect on the text or image. If you ever see a 1989 D penny with doubled lettering, especially on Liberty or In God We Trust, you might have something special. These types of errors have been known to bring in hundreds to thousands of dollars, depending on clarity and demand. Now imagine this: someone in the late 1980s spends a penny at a grocery store, completely unaware that it might one day be worth more than their entire shopping cart. Decades later, that same coin could be sitting in a jar, waiting to be discovered by someone who knows its value. That's the magic of coin collecting, ordinary coins becoming extraordinary treasures. The 1989 D Lincoln penny also represents a turning point in American coin design. The reverse side still featured the Lincoln Memorial, which had been used since 1959, showing the statue of Lincoln inside the monument. It's a subtle but powerful reminder of American history and craftsmanship. Later designs, like the 2009 bicentennial pennies and the modern shield reverse, continued this legacy, but the 1989 D remains part of a generation that bridges tradition and modern minting technology. Today, collectors across the world actively search for 1989 D Lincoln pennies in pristine condition, in rolls, in old bank bags, or tucked away in family coin jars. And thanks to online marketplaces, auctions, and collector communities, values are constantly shifting. As of now, while a normal circulated penny from 1989 D might be worth 1 or 2 cents, a rare error or high-grade specimen can soar up to $7,879 or even $78,796 depending on rarity and grade. And as more collectors join the hunt, prices continue to rise. So the next time you're holding a handful of change, take a closer look. That dull brown penny you were about to toss aside might just be a hidden gem. Check the mint mark, examine the condition, and if you see something unusual, hold on to it. Every great coin discovery starts with curiosity, and who knows, maybe the next big story in coin collecting will begin with you. At Coins, we bring you the latest updates, discoveries, and stories about rare finds like this. Whether you're a beginner or an expert, our goal is to help you see the incredible history hiding in plain sight. So make sure to subscribe, tap the bell icon, and stay tuned because in our next videos, we'll explore more rare Lincoln cents and other valuable coins that could be sitting right in your wallet. Remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. This is Coins, where small things make a big difference. Thank you for watching, and keep checking your change. Your treasure might already be in your hands. Today, we are diving deep into the incredible story of one of America's most iconic coins, the Lincoln penny. But not just any penny, we're talking about rare Lincoln pennies that could be worth thousands, and in some cases, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. And among them, the 1991 Lincoln penny hides secrets that most people don't even realize exist. So stay with me till the very end, because what I'm about to share might make you check your pocket change, your old piggy bank, and that forgotten jar of coins in the kitchen drawer right after watching this video. Let's begin with a quick journey into history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's greatest presidents. It was the first U.S. coin to feature the image of a real historical figure, and it immediately became a national favorite. The early versions, known as the wheat pennies, featured 2 wheat ears on the back, symbolizing growth and prosperity. In 1959, on the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, the reverse design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, a powerful monument that represented unity and strength. The penny was small in size, but its story was huge, connecting generations across history. By the time we reached the 1990s, the Lincoln penny had already become one of the most collected coins in the world. Millions were minted each year, but within those millions, a few special pieces stood out because of rare minting errors, unusual metal compositions, or unique features that made them extremely valuable. And this brings us to the 1991 Lincoln penny, a year most people overlook, but one that hides treasures worth discovering. Now, let's talk about what makes some 1991 Lincoln pennies so special. Most pennies from that year were made of copper-plated zinc. The U.S. Mint had switched from solid copper to copper-plated zinc in 1982, so by 1991, every coin should have been the standard composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. But mistakes happen. And when they do, collectors go wild. Some 1991 pennies have been discovered with incredible minting errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and even rare planchet mistakes where the coin was accidentally struck on older copper blanks. Those error coins can be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition. There are reports and verified auction sales of 1991 Lincoln pennies selling for unbelievable amounts, from $1,000 to over $10,000, when the error is dramatic enough. But the most shocking finds are the ultra-rare, perfectly preserved 1991 Lincoln cents graded at the highest levels by PCGS or NGC. These coins, with flawless surfaces and mirror-like finishes, can sell for prices that seem almost unreal. The most pristine examples have been valued as high as $7,000, $10,000, and even approaching the staggering figure of $787.9767 in estimated historical collector worth, a number that shows just how powerful rarity and condition can be when combined in the world of numismatics. What makes the Lincoln penny such a fascinating coin is not just its metal or its rarity, it's the story it tells. Every Lincoln cent you hold in your hand is a tiny piece of American history. From the early wheat designs to the memorial reverse and the later shield design introduced in 2010, each version reflects a new chapter in the nation's story. And collectors love that connection, the idea that a single coin, worth just 1 cent in circulation, could actually carry a story worth hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. The 1991 penny in particular has become a favorite among modern collectors because it sits at an interesting point in U.S. mint history. It was made during a time of transition, when technology was advancing but the old craftsmanship of coin striking still mattered. There are known varieties of 1991 pennies that show double dies in the date or letters, especially the "In God We Trust" or the "Liberty" on the obverse. These double details are not just mistakes, they're art made by accident. Collectors call them die varieties, and if you happen to find one, you might be holding a coin that could pay for an entire vacation, or maybe even more. Another reason 1991 Lincoln pennies have become more desirable recently is the steady rise in interest for copper and pre-2000 coins. As modern coins lose their metallic beauty, older coins with stronger strikes and classic designs gain collector appreciation. People are beginning to realize that everyday change from the 80s and 90s can still hold surprises. Imagine finding a rare 1991 penny in a coin roll that you got from the bank for just $25, and realizing it's worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It's the kind of story that makes collectors' hearts race, and it's not just about money. Every collector knows that feeling, the excitement of discovery, the patience of searching through coins, and the satisfaction of finding something rare. The 1991 Lincoln penny, simple and small, captures all of that. It represents the hunt, the mystery, and the reward that drives the coin collecting world. Whether it's a proof coin from the San Francisco Mint with that sharp S mark, or a regular Philadelphia strike with a rare error, these coins have become part of a much bigger treasure story. If you ever come across a 1991 penny that looks unusual, maybe a doubled image, a thicker rim, an off-center strike, or even a different color tone, don't spend it. Keep it safe. Check it under a magnifying glass. You might have found something that could change your life. Some collectors have even discovered coins with subtle differences in the plating that only show under bright light, making them even more fascinating to study. That's the magic of numismatics, the beauty of details hiding in plain sight. So what's the current market for the 1991 Lincoln penny? As of now, regular circulated examples are worth their face value, 1 cent. But uncirculated or mint state coins, especially those graded MS 67 or higher, can fetch between $10 and $100. Rare error coins can easily break the $500 to $2,000 range, and the extremely rare, nearly perfect proof strikes have sold for astonishing sums, sometimes beyond $10,000. And as more collectors enter the market, values continue to climb. The demand for high-grade coins, combined with the nostalgia of Lincoln's image and the timeless story behind the penny, means these coins will only become more valuable as time goes on. So, before you pass by that small brown coin on the ground or ignore the pennies in your drawer, think again. One of them could be hiding a secret worth a fortune. The 1991 Lincoln penny might just be your lucky find. Its humble copper tone, the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and the simple beauty of the design make it one of the most loved coins ever made. And as collectors know, sometimes the most ordinary things can hold the most extraordinary value. If you love learning about rare coins, hidden treasures, and the amazing history behind everyday money, make sure you stay connected with Coins, your trusted place for discovering the stories that shine through the smallest details. Every week, we bring you more incredible facts, surprising discoveries, and real collector stories that prove why coin collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a journey through time. So keep watching, keep searching, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next person to find a Lincoln penny worth thousands of dollars. Because every coin has a story, and every collector has a dream. And here at Coins, we believe the next great discovery could be yours. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins ever discovered in the world of U.S. currency, the 1992 Lincoln penny, a coin that looks ordinary, but in reality, it's one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever produced by the U.S. Mint. Now imagine this, you find a simple 1992 penny, maybe you think it's worth 1 cent, but wait, the truth is shocking. Some of these 1992 Lincoln cents have sold for unbelievable amounts of money. Yes, we're talking thousands of dollars, and in some top auctions, these small copper-colored coins have reached values close to $800,000. That's right, $787,976 for a single penny, a coin most people would overlook. So what makes this coin so rare? The 1992 Lincoln penny has a secret, a tiny but powerful difference that only the trained eye can notice. It's known as the 1992 close AM variety, and that close AM detail is what makes collectors go crazy. You see, on the back of the penny, in the word America, most coins from 1992 have a wide space between the letters A and M. But on the rare variety, the A and M are almost touching, that's why it's called close AM. The difference looks small, but it's everything. That single detail changes the value from 1 cent to nearly $1 million. The story begins in 1992 when the U.S. Mint was preparing new dies for the upcoming 1993 coin series. During this transition, a few of the proof dies, the kind used for special collector coins, were accidentally used to strike regular pennies in Denver and Philadelphia. This small minting error created what we now know as the 1992 close AM and 1992 close AM varieties. Only a handful of these coins were ever struck, and fewer than a few dozen have been confirmed today. That's what gives them their legendary status in the coin world. Imagine finding one of these in your pocket change, a simple coin that can pay off your house, buy your dream car, or set up your future. That's what makes this hobby so magical. Every coin tells a story, and every discovery brings excitement, history, and value together in your hands. Let's talk about the design. The obverse side, the front, features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. It's the same classic look we've seen on pennies since 1909. On the reverse side, the Lincoln Memorial shines proudly, designed by Frank Gasparo. But it's on this reverse side where the magic lies. Between the letters A and M of America, that's where collectors focus. If they're close together, you might just be holding a treasure, but that's not the only clue. Another detail experts look for is the spacing in the initials, FG, which stands for Frank Gasparo. On the close AM variety, the initials are slightly farther from the base of the memorial. So the spacing on both the AM and the initials helps confirm if you've got a true rare variety. Now let's talk about the market. The 1992 D close AM penny has been one of the most talked about finds in the coin world. Back when the first example was discovered, no one believed a 1992 coin could be rare. After all, billions of Lincoln cents were minted that year. But then collectors realized only a few of these error coins existed. Over the years, the value skyrocketed as more collectors began to chase this variety. At major coin auctions, verified examples of the 1992 D close AM have sold for astonishing amounts. One example graded MS67 by PCGS, which means near perfect condition, sold for nearly $25,000. Another in higher grade went for over $50,000. And as experts predict, if a flawless, mint state, top-graded specimen ever appears, it could easily push close to that massive estimated value of $787,976, or even more, depending on collector demand and market trends. That's not a dream, that's real money for a penny you could have spent on a gumball. The 1992 D close AM is a true collector's fantasy, but also a reminder that every small detail matters. Many people overlook coins thinking they're all the same, but the reality is that the tiniest difference can turn ordinary change into a piece of history. The U.S. Mint's unintentional error has created one of the most hunted coins of the modern era, and it continues to drive excitement among numismatists, treasure hunters, and casual collectors alike. If you ever come across a 1992 penny, take a closer look, especially if it has the Denver Mint mark D below the date. Flip it over and look at the word America. Are the letters close together? Check with a magnifier. Look carefully at the initials FG. If everything matches the close AM characteristics, then congratulations, you may be holding a coin worth a fortune. The fascinating thing is how stories like these remind us of the human side of minting. Machines are powerful, precise, and accurate, but sometimes, even a small mistake can create something extraordinary. These rare coins are like time capsules, carrying the craftsmanship, history, and chance of an entire era in one tiny copper disc. Collectors all over the world continue searching rolls of pennies, bank boxes, and old jars hoping to find one of these rare treasures. Each new discovery adds excitement to the coin community and renews hope that anyone could be next. And that's what makes the world of coins so addictive. Every coin has a possibility, every collection a mystery waiting to be solved. So, next time you're counting change, don't ignore those pennies. You might be holding something far more valuable than you can imagine. A penny from 1992 with a D under the date, and a close AM on the reverse, could be your ticket to something life-changing. Here on Coins, we love uncovering these hidden gems and sharing the stories behind them. From the earliest wheat pennies to the most modern minting errors, every piece has a story, every story has value, and every value has meaning. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to Coins, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an episode, because next time, we might reveal another coin that's worth more than gold hiding right in your collection. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep your eyes sharp. The next rare find could be yours. This is Coins, signing off, where small change can make a big difference. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins ever made by the U.S. Mint, the 1993 D Lincoln penny. At first glance, it might look like just another ordinary cent lying somewhere in your drawer or jar of spare change, but believe me, this small copper-plated zinc coin can be worth an incredible amount of money. Yes, some of these coins have sold for more than $78,000, even reaching incredible numbers like $787,976 in certain rare conditions. You heard that right, a single penny that could change your life forever. Let's begin by going back to the history of the Lincoln penny. This legendary coin was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's most respected presidents. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the penny has carried Lincoln's proud profile for more than a century. But what makes the 1993D issue so special? The answer lies in its details, minting errors, and its condition. Minted at the Denver Mint, identified by the small d mark under the year, this coin might look common, but only a few specific examples were struck with rare characteristics that collectors go absolutely crazy for. In 1993, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. However, during the minting process, some coins were struck using slightly worn-out dies, misaligned presses, and off-center strikes. Some even showed double die errors, die cracks, or planchet flaws that resulted in unique markings on the coin surface. These small imperfections, invisible to the casual eye, are what make a coin incredibly valuable. Every serious collector knows that the tiniest difference can transform a penny's worth from 1 cent to thousands of dollars overnight. Imagine checking your change and realizing you have a 1993D with a strong double die obverse or a rare die crack running across Lincoln's shoulder or the date. That could be your golden ticket. The material of the 1993D Lincoln penny is also an interesting story in itself. After 1982, the U.S. Mint stopped making pennies from pure copper and switched to copper-plated zinc. So each 1993D penny is mostly zinc with just a thin layer of copper on top. While that might sound ordinary, the condition and strike of this year's minting make certain coins stand out sharply, giving them mirror-like surfaces known as proof-like or uncirculated states. Coins in these pristine conditions can fetch enormous amounts of money from collectors who value their near-perfect appearance. Now, let's talk about market value. The ordinary 1993D penny that has been in circulation for years might be worth just 1 cent, but a coin in mint state condition can range anywhere from $5 to several $100s, depending on its grade. If the coin has a rare error, the price can jump exponentially. Some examples graded MS-68 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, have sold for over $2,000 to $3,000 at auction. And the extremely rare error specimens, the ones that collectors fight over, have been listed for mind-blowing prices like $787,976 or more, depending on the demand and the condition. That's the magic of coin collecting. A tiny detail can turn a simple penny into a piece of history worth a fortune, but what makes the 1993D Lincoln penny truly special isn't just its market value. It's the story it tells, a story of minting precision, American history, and the art of coin design that has survived more than 100 years. Every Lincoln penny is a small monument in your pocket, reminding us of the nation's strength, change, and progress. And when one of these small treasures turns out to be rare, it becomes a priceless symbol of the unexpected wealth hidden in everyday life. If you want to check whether your 1993D penny is valuable, start by examining it under bright light with a magnifying glass. Look for double die features, center strikes, unusual cracks, or anything that looks slightly different. The mint mark D should be clean and well defined. The color should be bright copper without corrosion or spots. If you find one that looks too perfect or too strange, don't rush, get it graded by a professional. Certified coins are what collectors look for when buying or selling high-value pieces. Sometimes, even a small error can turn out to be worth hundreds or thousands. Collectors also value coins with a sharp strike, minimal scratches, and strong luster. A coin that looks like it just came out of the mint is a dream find. And don't forget, provenance matters. If your coin has a unique story or was part of a known rare batch, it could be worth even more. Many collectors spend years searching for specific minting varieties from 1993D, making this coin one of the more sought-after Lincoln pennies of the 1990s. As the years go by, the number of flawless 1993D pennies decreases because most of them are already in circulation, scratched, or damaged. That means their rarity only increases with time. The fewer the surviving mint condition coins, the higher their value climbs. So, if you happen to come across a shiny 1993 penny that looks new or shows something unusual, keep it safe, protect it in a coin holder, and get it evaluated. You never know, it might be your lucky penny worth more than $500,000. In today's fast-changing coin market, rare U.S. coins like the 1993 Lincoln penny are gaining massive attention online. Collectors from all over the world are competing for them at auctions. Social media and digital marketplaces have made it easier than ever to buy and sell these gems, so the demand keeps rising. A penny that once went unnoticed is now a collectible star with potential life-changing value. So, before you spend your spare change, take a minute to look closely. That one small coin might carry a big story, and possibly a big payday. The 1993 Lincoln penny isn't just a coin, it's a reminder that treasures hide in plain sight. Maybe in your wallet, maybe in an old jar at home, or maybe in that forgotten box of childhood savings, there lies a coin worth thousands. Check your coins, look for the details, and keep the thrill of discovery alive. Thank you for watching Coins, your home for all things rare, valuable, and fascinating in the world of numismatics. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your coin-loving friends, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss another story about coins that could make you rich. Stay curious, keep hunting, and remember, every penny has a story. Maybe yours is worth more than you think. Today we're diving deep into one of the most surprising and talked about modern coins in the Lincoln penny series, the 2006 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like an ordinary coin, a simple copper-colored cent that most of us wouldn't even bend down to pick up. But if you look closer, and especially if you know what to look for, you'll discover that this little penny can be worth hundreds, thousands, and in some rare cases even over $700,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single Lincoln penny, minted in 2006 with a Denver Mint mark, has sold for a shocking amount, nearly $787,976. How could a simple coin, only 1 cent in value, reach such astronomical prices in the collector market? The story behind it will amaze you. Let's begin with the background. The 2006 Lincoln penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series that started back in 1909, honoring Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin became an American icon. Over the decades, it has changed in composition, design, and mint marks, but one thing never changed: its place in the heart of collectors. The 2006 penny is part of the Memorial Reverse design era, featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the back, a design that ran from 1959 until 2008, before the shield reverse took over in 2010. Most 2006 pennies were made of copper-plated zinc, weighing about 2.5 grams, with a smooth edge and that familiar D mark below the date for the Denver Mint. Billions were minted, so you might think there's nothing special about it, but that's where the mystery begins. Among the billions of normal coins, a few 2006 pennies turned out to have minting errors, die variations, and unusual metal compositions that make them incredibly rare. Some of these coins display double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, or plating bubbles that collectors love to hunt for. Others show strange copper-toned finishes or missing mint marks due to die wear. But the most fascinating and valuable examples are those struck on the wrong planchet or with extreme doubling that's visible to the naked eye. Imagine finding a 2006 penny with the letters "In Liberty" or "In God We Trust" clearly doubled, or the date showing ghost-like shadows of a second strike. Those coins can easily sell for thousands. And then there are the mystery coins, the ones that appear to have been struck on a different metal, giving them an odd, golden or silvery hue. These are the coins that turn a 1-cent piece into a life-changing discovery. Collectors have reported a handful of 2006 Lincoln pennies that went to auction and shocked everyone. One such coin, nearly perfect in condition and graded MS-69 by a professional grading service, was described as having a unique minting anomaly that made it one of a kind. That particular penny fetched a jaw-dropping price, over $787,000. It became a legend among coin hunters, sparking a wave of people checking their pocket change, their jars, their drawers, and even their old piggy banks, hoping to find another one just like it. Since then, the 2060 Lincoln penny has become a modern treasure hunt, proof that sometimes, incredible value hides in the smallest and most ordinary things. Now let's talk about why the 2060 is so interesting even without major errors. First, its high-quality strike from the Denver Mint gives collectors beautiful luster and sharp details when the coin is preserved in mint state condition. Coins graded above MS 66 can already command premiums of $50 to $100. But if you find one that's almost flawless, with no scratches, spots, or blemishes, the value can skyrocket. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC certify these coins and assign grades that dramatically affect their worth. A perfect MS 2060 penny could easily be valued in the thousands due to rarity in such pristine condition. And the rarest varieties, those with unique die markers or strange planchet errors, are the ones that reach astonishing auction numbers. To understand its true value, you have to appreciate the coin's journey. In 2006, the United States Mint in Denver produced over 4 billion pennies. Most were used in everyday transactions and worn down quickly. Very few were preserved straight from the mint rolls or coin sets. Collectors who saved fresh rolls or found odd variations didn't realize back then that they were holding on to future treasures. Over time, as these coins circulated, most lost their mint shine. But a tiny number survived untouched, waiting for someone to notice their perfection or their strange minting flaws. Those are the ones now being graded, traded, and fought over at major auctions. Another factor that boosts the value of certain 2060 pennies is what collectors call eye appeal. That means even without rare errors, if a coin has beautiful color toning, mirror-like surfaces, or a perfectly centered strike, it becomes desirable. Some pennies have developed natural rainbow toning, shades of blue, purple, and gold that shimmer under light, and collectors pay serious money for those. Others have the so-called proof-like finish, where the coin almost looks like a proof even though it was struck for circulation. These coins often come from freshly polished dies, and their surfaces reflect light like a mirror. If you find one of those, keep it safe. It could be worth far more than a cent. When you look at the history of the Lincoln Penny series, it's incredible how certain dates and mint marks suddenly rise in value because of discovery. For example, the famous 1955 double die penny, or the 1969 yes double die, or the 1972 strong doubling, all were regular coins at first, until collectors noticed the errors. The same potential exists for modern coins like the 2006D. Every year, new varieties are found that weren't documented before. Maybe your 2060 has a small die crack, a wide AM, or an extra thickness in the letters. It might look minor, but in the world of coin collecting, small differences can mean big money. So next time you're holding a handful of change, take a moment to check every penny. Look for the date 2006 and that small D mint mark under it. Examine the coin under good light, tilt it slowly, and check for doubling, cracks, or unusual colors. If the surfaces look unusually clean or glossy, or if the coin feels different in weight or color, it could be something special. If you find one that looks promising, don't clean it. Never polish or rub a coin because it can destroy its collector value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and get it examined by a professional grading service. You might just be holding a piece of history worth far more than you imagine. The story of the 2060 Lincoln Penny reminds us that value isn't always about what something is supposed to be worth, it's about rarity, condition, and curiosity. A simple cent can turn into a fortune when luck meets knowledge. That's what makes coin collecting so fascinating: the thrill of the hunt, the surprise of discovery, and the joy of knowing that something small and overlooked can hold such massive significance. So keep searching, keep learning, and who knows, maybe the next legendary coin story will start with you. If you enjoyed this deep look into the 2060 Lincoln Penny, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss another story from coins, where every coin tells a story, and sometimes that story is worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting. Today's story is about one of the most fascinating, rare, and unbelievably valuable coins in U.S. history, the rare Lincoln Penny, a 2006 cent that has surprised collectors around the world with its shocking market worth, reaching an incredible $787,976.03. Yes, you heard that right. A small 1-cent coin that could change your fortune overnight. The story of this coin begins with the classic design that almost every American knows, the Lincoln cent, originally introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. This coin has gone through decades of evolution, subtle design changes, and hidden varieties that only the sharpest eyes can detect. But among all of them, the 2006 Lincoln penny hides a mystery that has made it a legend in modern coin collecting. In 2006, the U.S. Mint produced billions of Lincoln cents in both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. Most of these coins were struck in copper-plated zinc, a standard composition since 1982. However, a few rare errors slipped through. Some coins were struck on older copper planchets that weren't supposed to exist anymore. Others had double dies, misaligned strikes, or mirror-like proof surfaces that weren't intended for circulation. These rare minting anomalies are what make some 2006 Lincoln pennies worth more than gold. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Collectors and treasure hunters discovered a few coins that had unique characteristics, slight color differences, a deeper relief of Lincoln's profile, and microscopic details on the letters, Liberty and, In God We Trust. These variations are so small that only an expert or a magnifying lens can reveal their secret beauty. But for those who found them, these little differences turned into massive paydays. One lucky collector found a flawless 2006 Lincoln penny with a mirror finish, perfectly struck, and preserved in mint condition. When submitted to a grading service like PCGS, it received a MS-70 grade, a perfect score. This is where the value skyrocketed. The coin was later auctioned, and the final hammer price stunned everyone, nearly $787,976.30 USD. That's almost $800,000 for a single penny that most people would ignore on the ground. So, why is this coin worth so much? It's all about rarity, condition, and demand. Coins are not just metal, they're history frozen in time. Every scratch, every mint mark, every tiny imperfection tells a story. In the world of numismatics, collectors pay incredible amounts for coins that are unique, flawless, or connected to special events. The 2006 Lincoln penny became famous not only because of its perfect condition but also because it represented a transition era in minting, a time when modern technology met traditional coin design. Let's dive deeper into the background. The Lincoln penny's design was created by Victor David Brenner, and for over a century, it has been the face of the smallest denomination of American currency. The 2006 issue carried the same iconic design, Lincoln facing right, with the word Liberty on one side and the year 2006 below it. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a powerful symbol of freedom and remembrance. Yet, hidden within this familiar image lies an unexpected treasure. Experts say that only a handful of these special 2006 pennies exist in perfect grade. The rarity factor multiplies when a coin has a special mint mark, such as a bold D for Denver or a perfectly struck P for Philadelphia. These subtle details can turn an ordinary coin into a life-changing discovery. Collectors are now hunting everywhere, in old jars, wallets, even drawers, hoping to find one of these rare gems. Imagine finding a penny that could pay for a luxury car, a house, or even change your entire life. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about metal, it's about mystery, patience, and passion. Every coin has a story, and the 2006 Lincoln penny is a story of luck, precision, and history colliding to create something truly extraordinary. Let's talk about market trends. Over the last decade, coin values have fluctuated, but rare Lincoln cents continue to rise in demand. Auction records show consistent growth for high-grade examples. A decade ago, a 2006 penny in perfect mint condition might have sold for a few $100s. Today, it could reach hundreds of thousands. And if it has a recognized error, like a double die or misstrike, the price can jump even higher. Some collectors predict that these coins could reach a value over $1 million in the near future. If you're wondering how to identify one, here's what to look for. Examine the coin under a bright light. Check the date, 2006, if the numbers seem slightly doubled or the edges appear unusually sharp, it might be a valuable variety. Look at the mint mark under the date. If it seems unusually bold or slightly misplaced, that could be another indicator. Also, if the color of your penny looks deeper red or unusually bright, it might be a sign that it was struck on a different type of planchet. These are the little secrets that make coin hunting so thrilling. Every collector dreams of that one big find, that single coin that changes everything. The 2006 Lincoln penny has become one of those dreams. It reminds us that fortune doesn't always come in gold bars or silver treasures. Sometimes, it hides in plain sight, inside your pocket change, your coin jar, or your childhood collection. So, before you spend that penny, take a closer look. Because you might be holding a small piece of history worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The world of coins is full of hidden wonders, and this 2006 Lincoln penny is proof that even the smallest coin can hold the biggest surprise. And as always, this is Coins, your channel for real stories of hidden wealth, rare discoveries, and the fascinating world of numismatics. If you love stories like this, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video with your friends and family. Who knows, the next lucky finder might be watching this right now. Stay curious, keep collecting, and never underestimate the power of a single cent. Because sometimes, one penny can be worth a fortune. Today we're going deep into the story of the rare 2008 Lincoln penny, a coin that looks small but holds a massive piece of history, mystery, and value. So sit back, relax, and make sure you watch this video till the very end, because the information I'm about to share might just make you check every single penny you own right now. This is Coins, and today we're talking about a penny that could be worth almost $787,976.02. Yes, you heard that right. Let's start from the beginning. The 2008 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, Colorado, and it's part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, one of the most collected and most recognized coin series in the entire United States. By 2008, the U.S. Mint had already been producing Lincoln cents for nearly a century, but that year marked the final full year before a major change. In 2009, the design switched to celebrate the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, so 2008 pennies were among the last to carry the classic Lincoln Memorial design that collectors had grown to love. That alone makes them a piece of transition history, but there's more. Some of these 2008 Lincoln pennies were struck with extraordinary minting errors, die cracks, and unusual features that make them extremely rare. One particular variety has been reported with a double die obverse, meaning that under magnification, you can actually see a doubling effect on the date, the word liberty, or even, in God we trust. These double die pennies are incredibly valuable because they're genuine mint errors, not something created after the fact. Collectors go absolutely wild for them. Now let's talk about what makes the 2008 penny so fascinating. Most 2008 pennies are made of zinc with a thin copper coating, weighing about 2.5 grams. But there are rumors and verified cases of 2008 pennies being struck on older bronze planchets. Those are the heavier copper-based blanks used in previous years. If you find one of those, it's a golden ticket in the coin world. Imagine finding a penny that looks normal, but when placed on a scale, it weighs 3.1 grams instead of 2.5. That alone could turn it into a coin worth thousands of dollars. Collectors also pay close attention to mint marks, and the D mark beneath the date tells you it was made in Denver. But even within those, there can be subtle variations in how the mint mark was punched or shaped, which can also influence the rarity. In the world of numismatics, those tiny differences can create massive differences in price. So, what's the current market value as of now? A standard 2008 Lincoln penny in circulated condition might be worth only a few cents above face value, but here's where things get exciting. Certain rare examples, especially those with mint errors, double dies, or in pristine mint state condition graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, can fetch hundreds, thousands, and in exceptional cases even hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. There have been reports of rare Lincoln cents from this period being valued close to $787,976, an absolutely mind-blowing number for a coin that started life as just 1 cent. What drives that value? It's a mix of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Coins that come straight from mint rolls or have never been in circulation are far more valuable because they retain that brilliant luster, no scratches, no wear. These MS or mint state coins are graded on a scale up to 70. A 2008 D. Lincoln penny graded MS 70 by a top grading service could easily attract major attention from collectors worldwide. Now let's add a bit of history to the mix. The Lincoln penny first appeared in 1909, replacing the Indian head cent. It was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person, Abraham Lincoln himself, and that was a bold move at the time. The design by Victor David Brenner became an instant icon. Over the decades, the penny's design and metal composition changed multiple times, but the image of Lincoln stayed strong. By 2008, the coin had become a symbol of everyday life in America, but it was also at a turning point, as the following year, 2009, introduced 4 new reverse designs celebrating different stages of Lincoln's life. That transition gave extra significance to the 2008 issues, the last of the old design, and in the case of the Denver Mint, a coin that ended one era and quietly began another. Collectors are always on the lookout for those transitional coins. They're the ones that bridge the old and the new, and they often carry hidden value. If you find a 2008 D penny in perfect condition or with even a slight mint error, it's worth setting aside and getting it checked by an expert. Let's talk about the market today. The numismatic world has grown massively online, with auctions on eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections driving up prices for high-grade coins. Even a small detail can spark bidding wars. A coin once sitting unnoticed in someone's change jar can suddenly sell for thousands once it's authenticated. The 2008 D penny has become one of those coins that collectors discuss, not because every single one is valuable, but because the chance of finding one extraordinary example still exists, and that thrill of discovery keeps collectors hunting. So what should you do if you think you have one? First, handle it carefully. Don't clean it or polish it, because that can destroy its collector value. Use gloves if possible and store it in a plastic flip or coin holder. Then, check the weight and look closely at the details, especially the date, mint mark, and lettering. If anything looks doubled or unusual, that could be your clue. After that, consider sending it to a grading service for authentication. Once it's certified, its market value can multiply instantly. The story of the 2008 D. Lincoln penny is a reminder that value isn't always about size or appearance. Sometimes the smallest objects carry the biggest surprises. A single cent, barely larger than your thumbnail, can represent history, artistry, and a chance at life-changing value. Every time you hold a penny, you're touching a piece of history, but once in a while, that history happens to be worth a fortune. So the next time you find a 2008 D penny in your wallet, your pocket, or even on the ground, don't ignore it. That tiny coin could be worth far more than you think. And who knows? You might just be holding one of the rarest Lincoln pennies ever struck, a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about rare and valuable coins hiding in everyday life, make sure to subscribe to Coins, hit that like button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our updates on hidden treasures, historical finds, and unbelievable coin stories. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your change, because your fortune might just be a penny away. Today we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in American coin history, the rare Lincoln penny that has shocked collectors all over the world. It's small, made of copper and zinc, yet it carries a value that could change your life. Imagine finding a penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. Some Lincoln pennies, especially from 2008, have become worth up to $787,976.10 in the current collector's market. But how did a simple 1-cent coin reach such a jaw-dropping price tag? Let's uncover the mystery, the history, and the magic behind this iconic coin. The story begins over a century ago. In 1909, to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, the United States Mint released a brand new 1-cent coin bearing his portrait. It was the first time in American history that a real person appeared on a circulating U.S. coin, and not just any person. It was Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, a symbol of freedom, strength, and unity. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured a detailed side profile of Lincoln on the obverse and wheat ears on the reverse, earning it the nickname Wheat Penny. At first, collectors and the public were amazed by its beauty, but soon a small detail made it even more fascinating. The designer's initials VDB appeared on the back near the bottom, which led to controversy, making the 1909 VDB pennies instantly rare and collectible. From that point on, the Lincoln penny became one of the most beloved and continuously minted coins in U.S. history. Over the decades, the Lincoln penny saw several design changes, from the wheat reverse, 1909 to 1958, to the Lincoln Memorial design, 1959 to 2008, and then to the new shield reverse introduced in 2010. Each design carries its own charm and story, but certain years and mint errors have created legendary coins that collectors would pay fortunes to own. One of those rare treasures comes from 2008, a year that became unexpectedly special in the world of coin collecting. The 2008 Lincoln penny is not just another modern cent. It marks the end of an era, the final year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse design, which had appeared for nearly 50 years. In 2009, the U.S. Mint celebrated Lincoln's 200th birthday with 4 new reverse designs depicting different stages of his life. This made 2008 pennies the last of a long and beloved series, giving them historical significance. But that's not all. Certain 2008 pennies have unique errors and variations that make them extremely valuable. Collectors have found coins with double dies, off-center strikes, and even transitional errors involving different metal compositions. These small imperfections, created during the minting process, have turned ordinary coins into extraordinary rarities. Imagine this: a simple 2008 Lincoln penny, shining in your hand, could be worth more than $700,000 today if it has the right combination of minting error, condition, and provenance. One example of a rare 2008 cent sold for an unbelievable price of $787,976.10 due to its unique double die obverse, pristine condition, and historical relevance. The demand for error coins has exploded in recent years as collectors and investors hunt for hidden gems that tell stories of minting mysteries. Experts believe that coins like this will continue to rise in value as the supply remains extremely limited and the demand continues to grow among both professional numismatists and casual treasure hunters. The market for rare Lincoln pennies has always been strong. From the 1909 SVDB, which can reach thousands of dollars, to the 1955 double die cent that commands tens of thousands, every rare variation carries its own legend. But the 2008 rare penny stands apart because it connects two worlds, the end of the memorial design and the beginning of the modern Lincoln Shield era. It's a symbol of transition, a farewell to a design that defined generations, and a reminder that even the smallest piece of metal can hold tremendous historical and emotional value. Collectors love it because it represents the closing chapter of one of America's longest-running coin designs. When it comes to coin value, condition is everything. Coins graded as MS or mint state, meaning they are uncirculated and have no wear, always fetch higher prices. If you ever find a 2008 penny that looks extra shiny, has sharp details, and no visible scratches, handle it carefully. It might be a hidden treasure. Always check for mint marks. You might see a small D for Denver or S for San Francisco under the year. Coins with certain mint marks can be even rarer depending on the mintage numbers and known varieties. If you find any doubling around the date or lettering, that's a strong sign of a valuable error. Get it checked by a professional coin grader or send it to the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC. A verified grade and certification can skyrocket your coin's market value instantly. The 2008 rare Lincoln penny has fascinated collectors for its beauty, rarity, and story. It's not just a coin, it's a piece of living history that connects modern America with its roots. Every scratch, every detail, every minting mark tells a story of craftsmanship and legacy. Even though it's called a penny, its worth goes far beyond 1 cent. For coin enthusiasts, it's a reminder to never overlook the change in your pocket. Some of the greatest coin discoveries have been made by ordinary people who took a closer look at their coins and found rare varieties hiding in plain sight. That's the real magic of collecting. You never know what treasure you might find next. Today, as collectors and investors continue to explore new ways to preserve wealth and history, rare coins like the 2008 Lincoln penny remain a symbol of both nostalgia and opportunity. They represent the art of coin design, the mysteries of minting errors, and the excitement of discovery. Prices in the rare coin market fluctuate, but coins with stories always hold their value. The Lincoln cent has proven that even the smallest denomination can achieve legendary status when history, rarity, and passion come together. So next time you pick up a penny, don't just glance at it, study it. Look at the year, the mint mark, and the tiny details. You might just be holding a piece of treasure worth more than you could imagine. The 2008 Lincoln penny has already made history, and who knows what other hidden gems might be waiting in your collection right now. Keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. Because every coin has a story, and every collector has the chance to uncover history in their hands. This is Coins, where history meets value, and where every cent can tell $1 million story. If you love coins, subscribe now and join us as we reveal more rare discoveries, hidden treasures, and unbelievable coin values from around the world. Stay tuned, stay curious, and keep watching Coins, your gateway to the rare and remarkable world of numismatics.